Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that buries stupidity in the concrete foundations of the library of knowledge. Flat Earthers, they don't like giving evidence. In fact, their biggest defense at the moment is saying that they don't have to give evidence because they don't have the burden of proof, claiming that all the science, the experiments, the measurements and body of facts that we have are null and void. And why do they say that all of this science as we know it is null and void? Well, usually because flat earthers are thick as fuck and haven't the slightest clue about the things that they claim to be able to debunk. The flat earther today is...
can I be in there?
He's a special breed of stupid.
Let me be in this one. Guys, tell him to let me in.
He hides his stupid and tasty word salad and is...
I want to be in this one, guys.
He's really ignorant of physics. Flat Earth can't ever provide evidence, so
let me in.
All they do is display their ignorance of the globe, and that's what I'm going to cover today as we take... Fine, Brainy, okay? Fine, you can be in this fucking episode. Just shut up.
Ah, yes. Okay, thank you. Give me a second. Give me...
So I guess me and Brainy Beaver will be covering the dipshit of the week who calls himself Witsit Gets It for episode 52 of Flerfs Are Idiots. I swear to God, Brainy, if you ever interrupt me again when I'm recording.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
And thank you for joining me once again as we take a look inside the mind of someone that is capable of thinking that the Earth is flat. What the hell? Oh, where's the NASA implant sent me now? Hello? Is anyone there? Brainy? Cats? Simon Dan? Anyone? Hello? Oh, I'm back. Thanks, Sagan. I've been in the mind of a flat earther for years. It was so empty and cold. Right, where was I? Austin Witsit, that's right. So word salad Witsit. The smartest thing he ever did was come up with the best insult about me being a big old fatty that I've ever heard when he called me fight the tight shirt. Fucking hilarious and pretty witty. Unfortunately, nothing else smart has ever passed his lips. Let's have a listen to him say a bunch of stupid stuff, shall we?
So, here's the deal. Axial rotation has never been substantiated. They tell us that we're spinning around 1,040 miles per hour east, but it's never been substantiated.
I mean, yeah, it's never been substantiated if you ignore all the evidence, I agree. Evidence like this.
If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15 degree per hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. And also, as evidence that you don't know what the fuck you're actually talking about, you just said that we're spinning to the east at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. Well, here's the thing, that anybody who understands even the slightest bit of physics knows that that sentence doesn't make sense. You don't measure rotational speed in miles per hour. That's dumb. You measure rotational speed in RPM, or degrees per unit of time. Like...
a 15 degree per hour drift.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Bob. You can shut up now. But just for you, Witsit, as you're obviously a little slow after years at the back of the bus, here is a direct comparison of something rotating at the same speed as the Earth. Better hold the fuck on, Witsit. Don't want the centrifugal acceleration of 0.034 meters per second squared to fling you off into outer space. Or maybe I do.
Globe Earth was up Foucault's pendulum. It doesn't have an independent frame of reference. It isn't consistent, it has a window of error, and it doesn't correlate cause and effect Science is the correlation of cause and effect. So what that means is you have an observable phenomena that is the effect.
So much wrong in such a short amount of time. A pendulum's bob, or weight, is a freely moving object when swinging back and forth. That means that it's in a different reference frame to the rest of the rotating Earth because it is freely moving. And I'm gonna need a citation that the observable phenomenon has to be the effect or dependent variable in an experiment. You can't just make up your own science, you dipshit.
Okay, you have to correlate the cause to the effect, which means you have to have an independent variable that is manipulated so that it differentiates the effect. And then you can validate that that is the cause. Okay, that's what the actual scientific method is. Yeah, you have the dependent variable, the effect, the observable phenomena. You have an independent variable that you manipulate to validate the effects, okay? To validate that it is the cause of the effect. It's very simple. The globe Earth doesn't do this ever at all, so there's literally not one single piece of scientific evidence for the globe Earth.
The globe Earth never does this. Well, either you're lying or you've got a brain injury. What is and isn't science is determined by its adherence to the scientific method, which breaks down to 5 easy steps. 1. An observation in the natural world. 2. Create a hypothesis for the observation. A hypothesis is an educated guess and can be whatever you want. 3. Make a prediction based upon your hypothesis. 4. Design an experiment to test your prediction. An experiment must have a control variable which isn't changed by the experiment to compare to, an independent variable which must be manipulated by the experimenter and is the presumed cause, and a dependent variable which is what will be changed by the manipulation of the independent variable and is measured and is considered the effect. And then 5, analyze your data. If your hypothesis is confirmed, then you've got a scientific theory. And if your hypothesis is invalidated, you reassess your hypothesis, make adjustments, and start again. Science is trial and error. And when we globe earthers do experiments, we follow that method. For instance, this particular version of Foucault's pendulum done by the gentleman physicist. Step 1, an observation. The stars in the sky rotate around 2 different points depending on your location relative to the equator. All of the stars move at 15 degrees per hour. Step 2, a hypothesis. I hypothesize that my observation suggests we are on a rotating body that is spinning at 15 degrees per hour. Step 3, prediction. To form a prediction, I must make an assumption. So if we are rotating at 15 degrees per hour, the freely swinging bob of a pendulum will drift 360 degrees at the poles and will not drift at all if placed at the equator. The amount of drift per time will allow us to calculate our latitude if the Earth is a rotating globe. Step 4, design an experiment to test the prediction. The gentleman physicist did just that. He created a large, freely swinging pendulum and let it swing for 0.688 hours and measured the drift. Step 5, analyze. Based on the data the gentleman physicist gathered during the experiment, he was able to calculate his latitude to within a margin of error of 1 degree. This confirmed the prediction and hypothesis. So there you have it, Witsit, an experiment that disproves your assumption that globe earthers don't follow the scientific method. And destroys your complete and utter misunderstanding of how a pendulum works. What else have you got? Yeah, flat earthers have never gotten... Hold on a sec. Bloody hell, hold on. All right. Oh, it's Brainy. He says, oh, is it my go yet? Oh, and another message from Brainy. Can I go now? And another one. Is it my turn on... And another one. Hello, FTFE. Can I go? And another one. It says, please let me go now. I want to go. Please let me be on screen. I'm not desperate, honest. Look, all right. Here's Brainy Beaver.
Hi everybody, I'm Brainy Beaver, and my channel is the place you come to if you want that sweet smell of vanilla and desperation required for a tiny innocent animal to just struggle to keep up with FTFE.
Look, I told you I was sorry. It really was an accident.
Yeah, well, I guess I can buy that, sir. But it is a shame. Poor little guy. Probably kept up with you for a mile or so. Tough little mutt. Yeah.
So come with me and give me emotional support while we take a look at Witsit, because there is not enough money in my world to buy the cocaine required to keep up with his meandering thought processes.
This dude was involved around some stuff. It clearly does appear, right? The details are pretty hard to keep up with if you're lying for the course of years. But he doesn't fully understand what's going on. Again, he just pointed out that they call themselves demons, and they say that their seed comes from Lucifer or whatever. But really, that's not what's going on. It must have come from dinosaurs, because he's just like, these people are psychopaths. There's no way that this is real. They are literally Luciferians, and if you are in this chat, you probably do know it's very real. Yeshua is real. Lucifer's real. Lucifer's a title. The ultimate Lucifer is Gadriel, the serpent that fell. Okay, so it's very real. They consider themselves Luciferians. This is the process of getting to full enlightenment of understanding of the metaphysical, transmutation, alchemy of oneself, etc., etc.
Okay, where to start unpacking that? I guess we'll just kind of start from the top.
Guys, look, I get it. It sounds crazy. Austin, you're talking about clones. What are you talking about? I'm not claiming that I can scientifically validate even the viability of cloning. I actually don't think that by force someone can be cloned or anything like that. They can't come get your sample.
Witsit, you got to slow down, buddy. Witsit, you got to...
But whenever you leave yourself vulnerable in the astral metaphysical realm because you're not protected by Yeshua and you're a little special boy, you can do whatever you want to, and you take a whole bunch of drugs and you sink in depravity and degeneracy and you're constantly trying to astral project.
You got to slow down. Slow down. We're going to have to talk about these things as you talk.
I know things are real in your dream states, and that's what's been pumped down your throat. Dreams. Are dreams real? I wonder what's going on in the dreams. What's the Matrix tell you about the dreams? There's something very real to the metaphysical.
That's it. You got to stay on a subject, buddy. We got to stay on a topic.
There's no other viable option to explain observable phenomena without the metaphysical field around you. So what is there? What's
right? Fine. You know what? I got this for this occasion. You know what? Just... Look away, children.
Born a giant that was 2/3 God. There was some type of, manufacturing that caused this to happen. So this seems to just be there's nothing new under the sun, and something could happen, and maybe you guys don't know. They said they could clone a sheep, and they think that you're sheep, and that's why they're laughing. We told you that we can clone you guys, and you didn't even understand it.
I know, right? I know. I keep telling them about the lizard people. Tell them about the lizard people. It's good shit.
Coined the phrase atomic bombs and loosed them on helpless civilian populations. He said his vision of a nuclear war between England and Germany in the impossibly distant future of the 1950s. In 1933, the
Sodomite
physicist Leo Szilard was contemplating becoming a biologist.
It was between that and a life of sodomy as he soaked in his bubble bath of femininity.
That was fun, wasn't it? But now that my desk is covered in icing sugar and I've shown everybody what it's like to listen to your rambling and try to pick out little things, we could push forward. First thing I want to mention, you're an idiot. Pointing out his femininity because he sat in a bubble bath. Dude, it's like 1930. In fact, I checked the year. It's 31, 32, 33, something like that. You'd have to double check. I'm not going to do it right now, but it's the 30s. Well, I got to tell you, guess what? Showers never even became popularized until the late 30s. So somebody sitting in a bath was how they cleaned their stank ass. But you probably don't know much about that since you look like you're hobo hour in it. Oh, Witsit coming in hot with a 1-2 right off with his historical knowledge of what it required to clean a stank ass in the 30s. This is gonna be fun.
Dr. Szilard? Are you going to write him, man? He read Wells's novel. It started him thinking.
Szilard knew that Atoms are made of protons and neutrons on the inside.
Which are actually pseudo-scientific fairy tales. The materialistic or physical nature of anything beyond the subatomic scale cannot be verified in any scientifically verifiable manner whatsoever. In fact, the electron is nothing more than the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction. All we are seeing is reactions within the field on the quote-unquote quantum scale. You cannot actually in any way validate some type of materialistic claim. It is just pseudoscience. The photon is nothing more than a dielectric pulse, it appears, and the electron is nothing more than the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction.
What a magnificent pile of word salad, Witsit. Where do the electrons come from then, if it's just the terminal end of a dielectric pulse? Do the electrons just flow through the fucking copper like water through a hose? Technically they kind of do, but I'm going to show you how.
The flow of electrons is what forms an electric current. If we look inside a piece of a copper wire, there are atoms that easily exchange electrons. These electrons are able to move from one atom to another in any direction. If we make a closed circuit by connecting the copper wire with a power source, like a battery, then the voltage will make the electrons to move in the same direction, from one terminal of the battery to the other, or from the negative to the positive of the power source. If we add a light bulb to the closed circuit, the electrons will have to pass through it in order to get to the other terminal, thus producing a light.
This is where Witsit goes, aha, that's what I said though. But no, that doesn't make sense, Witsit, because if it's just the terminal end of blah, 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 then you need to explain how an insulator works, because we have a fundamental understanding of what makes something an insulator and something a conductor, and it's based on how many electrons are in the valence shell, which basically adds to its stability. When you have a very unstable valence shell, especially if you have one stray one just kicking around in a circle out there, then it's very easy for another atom, similar to like orbits and planets, which you also don't believe in, that's fine, to kick one of those electrons off and like pull it over to another one. Hence, conductors and insulators.
Some materials in this shell have loosely bound electrons, which allows them to flow from one atom to another. These moving electrons are called free electrons. How easy it is for an electron to move around depends on the material. Materials can be either conductors or insulators. Materials that are conductors, like most metals, allows free electrons to move freely throughout the solid, while insulators, like plastic or glass, limit the movement of the electrons, holding them tightly.
Nikola Tesla, in fact, has said that he disintegrated atoms with millions of volts and nothing ever happened. When he first did it, he told all of his assistants, numerous people that are touted to be quote-unquote scientists say that there's going to be an explosion when I do this, just a heads up. Of course, they knew that he was not an idiot, so they didn't sleep, nothing happened. He did it numerous times. Fast forward, we now have a pseudoscientific fairy tale of fear coming from one single Grabler author from World War II about dropping nuclear bombs. I digress.
So, question for you there, Witsit. What do you think they mean when they say splitting an atom? Because he can hit an atom with as much electricity as he wants. And besides, maybe they did say there would be an explosion. Perhaps they were also wrong. That doesn't mean anything. It just means that they weren't right. But it also doesn't mean that he did what was needed to cause an explosion. Because that's not what we mean by splitting an atom. I mean, we got Witsit over here swinging a knife around. Hey, take that. And that. Oh, I'm cutting atoms, fuck. Cutting atoms, fuck. Sorry, Witsit, that's not what they mean by splitting an atom. Splitting an atom is a chemical/physics reaction involving neutrons.
On this scale, we can see actual atoms and neutrons. Neutrons are the particles that help us unlock all that energy from the nucleus. But they move fast, so first we need to slow one down. And to do that, we simply use water. Let's follow this one and see where it leads us. Pay close attention. Firing this neutron into the nucleus of the atom causes the nucleus to split in two. This is the fission we mentioned earlier. And as the nucleus splits, it releases its own neutrons. Some of these newly released neutrons, slowed by the water, hit other atoms, causing more fission. And so the chain reaction begins.
Now, when they talk about using water to slow it down, this is actually from a power plant. So, of course, they do things a little differently. They don't want as rapid of a reaction because kaboom! They needed to slow down a little bit. So that's where the heavy water pools come in to slow the neutrons. They actually absorb it. You can actually find out a lot of information about that watching Thunderfoot with regards to Chernobyl. There's a lot of good information there. But anyways, did anybody see Witsit and Nathan Thompson on their very, very, beautiful little thing where Nathan explained to Witsit like 2 times what a lie is, because of course, you know, you have to explain to people that don't understand shit what things are, just so you don't get too much confusion, right? Things get wild. But did you see put the music behind it? It was like a Sick Kids kind of thing, right? Or one of those like Wish Foundation ads.
But I gotta be honest with y'all. I've been lying to you. Yeah.
Witsit, yeah, he was an interesting case. I remember the little guy hiding at the back there. He's always so curious, you know?
Also, you know what we were just talking about? And he's like, have you loaded up the freaking van yet? Like, I'm like, no, not at all. When you leave it? I'm like, how cool would it be, bro, if we never had to, like, even load the van up? Like, we just had the RV here. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be like the coolest freaking thing ever.
Yeah, it was a wild adventure with Witsit. You know, we've been done a lot of special children, but Witsit was a little different. I mean, we had to keep it a close... Hey, Witsit, we've talked about this. Get your hands out of your pants. No, the girls don't want to see that with Witsit. Witsit, you put it away. No, Wits. Okay, I gotta deal with this. Just keep... I'll be back. Just give me a second, guys.
But I gotta be honest with y'all. I've been lying to you. Yeah. Hardcore. Lying, right? Most people define lying as like not telling the truth, right? But lying is also when you know something and you don't tell someone what's actually going on, right?
We thought it was better to explain to Witsit what a lie was. We were awfully concerned we wouldn't understand what a lie was, and we'd already had that incident with him flinging shit at the walls, and frankly, we couldn't afford that again. There was a whole fallout with HR, and there's going to be insurance payouts. There's some sexual harassment that occurred a little while ago. Anyways.
What? We're gonna do the whole thing. We're gonna do the whole thing in the RV. He drove all the way out here from California. Wow, dude. That's incredible. So we're gonna hang out with him tomorrow, pack and clean up. But like, I didn't lie to you.
It's these happy endings. That's why I got into this, you know. Seeing the smile on Witsit's face, he was telling us the whole time how he wanted to hang his head out the window, let the air rush along his tongue. Also, we got him a Captain Underpants impersonator. He was pretty thrilled about that. So it was a big day for him. It was a big day. All right, now, before I get going, I think we need to talk about the relationship between Oakley and Witsit, or, I don't know, the separation. But before what was that? What is this? Is this for me?
Flat Earth Debate
live.
I'm your host, Nathan Oakley.
What am I supposed to do with these? It didn't come with anything. Oh, there's a note in here. Moisture activated testicle invitation. To activate invitation and get Discord link to stream, simply hold testicles above head and caress gently with tongue. Fuck. Apparently I have to suck his nuts to get into the stream.
The elastic velocity or elastic energy of gas is way stronger than electrostatics. It's just my point here, at least I can only speak for me, right? My point is the electrostatics is always at play because everything that has any matter is electrostatic, and the Earth is also electrostatic and actually negative, and that's why we have lightning, etc., etc. So you can't just say it's not part of the equation. That would be dishonest. But at the same time, almost impossible to validate. You can't get outside of the Earth.
What is this? What are you on about? What is this electrostatic non sequitur? The fact that we have to constantly look at this stuff to experience it or describe it or have pens to write it down is totally non sequitur.
Well, it's just that, the Earth's negatively charged, and anything that falls to the Earth is electrostatic.
Well, like a balloon?
Yeah, the balloon.
Does that fall to the ground, Witsit?
No, of course.
Well, then shut up! You dumb...
Doesn't mean there's not a natural bias, though.
A bias? What, for the balloon? How many times do you want to do this? Are you all morons?
Ad hom.
Sorry, are you a moron? Is the balloon going down, Witsit?
Yes, we are.
Is the balloon biased downwards?
Are you serious, bro? That's how you're gonna
Shut up, Nathan. I'm talking to Witsit.
Well, what I'm saying is, you see, the bias is so incredibly weak that
So it's not a bias down! What bias? The downward one the balloon's not experiencing? Third time, Witsit!
Yeah, they're right. The gas isn't going to go down.
So there is not a downward bias!
Well, you would...
No, not well! There's no downward bias, you clown! You've just admitted it! Why are you in cognitive dissonance over this, Witsit?
Your hand wave dismissing the electrostatics, dude.
What, the non sequitur fallacy you introduced that I immediately demolished as a non sequitur fallacy?
Wait, how's it non sequitur? I thought that was the whole
So the balloon goes down? Sorry, the electrostatics make the balloon go down, or is this non sequitur?
The electrostatics are way weaker, right?
Are they making the balloon go down? Are you deaf?
No,
So non sequitur then!
Nathan, you're going to give yourself an answer.
Nathan, shut up. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to absolutely teabag Witsit for his dumb fuckery. So this electrostatic is not giving the balloon a downward bias, is it?
No.
No! That's right, Witsit, you clown! So what are you babbling about?
Because once again, you just whistle past this.
You just stutter for me like the rest of the fundies with their belief in gravity. There is not a downward bias, clown.
Okay, but yeah.
Okay! Now enjoy the taste of my nuts, you flat earth fundy. There's no downward bias.
Dismissing your hand.
Dismiss what? The electrostatics that make the balloon go down? You're going to do it third time in a row, you circle-jerking fundy?
Claimed it made it go down.
It doesn't go down, you idiot! Are you thick?
One claimed it did, that's a straw.
Oh, right, I'm claiming a downward bias of the balloon and no one's claiming it. You are. You stuttering, double-speaking, cognitive dissonance-laden fundy.
Matters inherent. Every compilation of matter is inherently electrostatic.
And that's got anything to do with the balloon going down? Fourth time circle jerking this shit in a row?
I never said the balloon went down.
It doesn't go down! Are you dumb?
It does, dude.
Oh, it does? Oh, balloons go down, go boom with a single vector of downward, do they? This gas doesn't have one, does it?
Assuming anything.
Oh, you're assuming gas go down, go boom boom, my friend.
Is he hurt? Electrostatic?
Sorry, electrostatics non sequiturs making gas go down, go boom boom now, is it? Sorry. Stupid shit. Gas go down, go boom boom. Gas go down, go boom boom. Gas go down, go boom boom. Gas go down, go boom boom.
Is he hurt? Electrostatic?
Sorry, electrostatics non sequiturs making gas go down, go boom boom now, is it? Stupid shit.
You keep saying non sequitur, but you're...
So gas is going down, go boom boom, or is this non sequitur?
Sequitur.
Yeah, it's non sequitur if gas is not going down, go boom boom. Is gas going down, go boom boom?
No one claims that gas
gas goes down, go boom. You do, you claim there's a bias. Downwards, you stupid shit.
I'm sorry for sitting back and just letting you take that whole thing, but you know what? There isn't much to say about it. Oakley's a piece of shit. And Witsit, Nathan, why do you even go on his channel? You should just do like the rest of us and just ignore him. The only reason we occasionally step foot in that zone is to poke the bear through the cage. Thanks for having me, FTFE. And if you haven't checked out my channel, everybody, give it a check out. And also maybe give that Mr. Pascal Marks a little bit of love for that great, Oakley's, you know, what? Balloon go down, go boom boom. Balloon go down, go boom boom. I was ready to pull out the glow sticks. You're lucky. I was going to get the donut boxers and glow sticks. And I was just going to rage. Get the out of here. Have a good night, everybody. See you later. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
And thanks for that, Brainy. This video isn't getting monetized, is it? That was a lot of stupid you just covered, so frankly, that's all the stupid that I can take for today. But before I go, I want to say a massive, massive thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Without your support, I could not focus full-time on the channel and bring you the awesome Flerf-busting content that you love. As a member or patron, there is a special room just for you guys in the Discord, and top-level patrons and members can contact me for some free merch. To join the team, head to patreon.com/FTFE or click the join button next to the subscribe button. And thank you. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss anything from FTFE. A massive thanks to Brainy Beaver for getting this particular video demonetized, and if you'd like to subscribe to him, then just hit that button up there. And remember, stupidity's not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Fight the flat, 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 fight the flat.